do everything naturally. Yeah, now when we see each other, it's a messed up catastrophe. Now guys used to say that we were meant to be. Yeah, now you're thinking I'm just some old deadbeat. Girl, I'm home for the weekend. Now you're thinking I'm just a reject. I don't really care what you said, 'cause we're gonna keep dancing. I don't think that I can take it. I don't want to have to fake it. And I'm down if you make it or break it. But we're gonna keep dancing, alright? You, baby, it's all about you. Oh, it's all about you. Baby, you like it, yeah. You, baby, it's all about you. Oh, it's all about you. Baby, yeah. Why don't you come down from stars? Just know this love was ours. But we're too good at hiding our flaws. Down from stars, love was ours. Why don't you come down from stars? Just know this love was ours. Girl, I'm a dog and I'm the one. Darling, I'm the one. Like we used to be. Yeah, walking down the boulevard, caught up in our revelry. Girls used to say that we were meant to be. Yeah, now you're thinking it's too late to have me. Girl, I'm home for the weekend. Now you're thinking, baby, we made it. I don't really care what you said, 'cause we're gonna keep dancing. I don't think that I can take it. I don't want to have to fake it. And I'm down if I make it or break it. But we're gonna keep dancing, alright? Yeah. You, baby, it's all about you. Oh, it's all about you. Baby, you like it, yeah. You, baby, it's all about you. Oh, it's all about you. Baby, yeah. Why don't you come down from stars? So know this love was ours. We're too big, hiding our flaws. Down from stars, love was ours. Why don't you come down from stars? So know this love was ours. Girl, I'm a dog and I'm the one. Darling, I'm the one. You.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
the moment you've all been waiting for tonight. Just you guys talking presents No Coast. Welcome to the show.
Well, yeah.
All right, so from left to right, we have Grant, Jahari, Tanner, Tate, and Manny. How do y'all get your name?
You
So-
can take that one.
Yeah, no problem. So me and Manny, when we first started thinking about, what we were writing, what we were thinking about, doing the whole band thing together, we were just throwing around a bunch of different names, and then I had remembered there's this
Weird names.
T-shirt shop back in my hometown, like a really tiny shop that had these little shirts that said No Coast. It wasn't branded or anything. It was just like their own little end shop thing they would do.
And where's that?
Columbia, Missouri, so
okay.
about 6 hours from here. And then I started thinking about like the meaning of that, like in context of making music in Nashville here. And then it kind of morphed into meaning like you don't have to be in LA or New York to make music that's not country or not, middle of the run, whatever, bluegrass. Which I love bluegrass. I love this type of music. But just like
It doesn't have to be so pigeonholed.
Yeah.
It's Music
Exactly.
City.
And for us, when we first started this band, we wanted to blend genres, and so that kind of meant like
Definitely.
doing something special.
And
in
I
Nashville.
really respect that because, I don't know, Nashville's at a point now where it's been known for country for so long,
Right.
and now so many people are coming here doing other genres,
Yeah.
and so for y'all to put on for like this, genre-less or just like you don't have to be in these two places to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
I respect that for sure.
But we later realized that like all the members in the band didn't live on the coast.
Well, that's
Coastal
until
Jahari came into the band. And then
He's from
Where-
Virginia.
where
He's
you
from
from?
Virginia.
He's near DC.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that totally just ruined.
what
that.
about the
that was redundant.
the rest of
Yeah.
y'all? Where are y'all from? The rest of y'all?
I'm from the suburbs of Chicago,
Okay. What suburb?
Glen Ellen.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Columbia, Missouri. I'm from suburbs of DC also,
Mhm.
but I recently moved to Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Grant.
I'm from Edwards, Pennsylvania, about 25 minutes out of Harrisburg.
Okay.
Small town there.
So I guess next question: how did y'all meet?
Tate and I started. Well, we lived in the same dorm. Lived in Maddox together, 3rd floor. Complete shit show. Dorm. But
Where'd you
yeah,
guys live?
Patton.
Okay,
Nice.
not a shit show.
No, shit show.
Well, we had 3 people in a 2-person room.
Oh,
so
no.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
But,
something.
Oh.
Yeah, Maddox
Yeah.
was a great time. But I met Tate in Maddox, and we started working on music probably at the end of freshman year, and then kind of starting into sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard Tanner practicing in his room in TK last year.
Mhm.
Went to go say hi, and then we kind of just invited him over to just
Yeah.
jam.
It was so random. You know, he just knocked on my
Super
door and
random.
was like, "Hey, I heard you playing guitar.
You
wanna-
told
do you
me
wanna-
to knock on his
It's
door.
like that
Do
scene.
you wanna-
It's
yeah.
like that scene from School Rock.
Oh.
I heard you
Yes.
guys in music class. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and he was like, "Do you want to come over tonight and just jam with us? See if we like you. See if you like us."
Like you.
And that second song that you guys heard, "All in My Head," we actually wrote that first night that we met,
Yeah.
which is a
Oh,
pretty
nice.
cool
Wow.
thing.
Yeah.
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 And then Jahari, I've known since like high school,
Mhm.
because we kind of my mom taught him at his school,
Oh, okay.
at his high school, so I knew about him and how he was a drummer, and so I kind of was pulling for him to come to Belmont for completely selfish reasons. Yeah.
And then we met Grant through Sarah, our manager. They went to different high schools, but grew up around Harrisburg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same district.
And so we ended up just hanging out with him all the time with our group of friends. And then he's like, "Oh, I can play trumpet." And I was like, "Cool, we're making this track, and
Yeah.
I want trumpet, so come over here and play trumpet." And then,
Is that Mars?
The rest is
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
yeah.
So is Maddox? So Patton's here. You have Potter here.
Yeah.
Maddox
It's
is
like right
so
across
ugly.
from the calf.
Oh,
Connect-
okay.
connect-
prison-
connected to
prison
Kennedy.
with
Oh,
Yeah.
Connected to Kennedy.
Yeah. It was built in like 1939.
And it's never been updated.
Yeah. Never.
No, it looks like it's from like the 70s or 80s. The
Yeah.
front.
That's not true. Pembroke is the oldest one.
Yeah, Pembroke is super
Oh, yeah,
old.
Pembroke
And then the other like Hale or whatever those girls ones are over there, they're so old.
Yeah, but Maddox had like a series of problems because with my friend's dorm, his AC didn't work. His window didn't open.
Yeah.
Hot
his,
box.
His toilet seat
I
fell
remember-
off.
Oh
I remember
yeah.
me and Jason and Ethan like every 2 weeks having to scrub black mold out
Yeah.
of our bathrooms.
Yeah.
And we would complain about it and they just would ignore us. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
If I die.
Yo, I think
Oh,
my
that's
favorite.
good.
My roommate's get free tuition.
Yeah. Yeah, if I die, then actually I die and I don't get any benefit.
One time we were going out one night and we were just in my friend's dorm. He went to go just open up the door and the doorknob came off. And we were just stuck in his room.
Yeah, it sounds like
We had to wait
falling
until
apart.
Yeah.
Man.
We had to wait until the sweet
Are
man
y'all
got
still
back.
in the dorm?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Are you doing? Are you in Tall?
I'm in
Hall?
Dickens.
Okay.
I'm in Tall Hall.
Okay.
What do you think about it?
How's that?
I love Tall Hall. It's like brand spanking new. I'm in an apartment,
Okay.
and it's just really convenient and it's super nice. Like everything is super nice, super new.
Don't you have the biggest room in Tall?
I do have the biggest.
The
Well,
next-
no, I have the biggest room of my apartment.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
The next update needs to be the calf for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
The
Oh.
calf food. Yeah, the
food,
food.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
a bigger
Yeah.
rec center, dude. It's so
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
no.
definitely.
I had to get a Y membership because I
Yeah.
couldn't do it anymore.
Or like
Yeah.
just a pool. Like every college has a pool.
You know, they had like a poll to have a rock climbing wall or a pool, and people voted rock climbing.
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
kidding me?
it's a rigged vote because
That's a
rock climbing wall is way cheaper to build and
Yeah,
maintain.
I know, but why make
Yeah.
a poll for it?
Because
Not-
They
Why make
wanted
you
they
vote
wanted
for
people
it?
to feel like they actually had a choice.
Yeah,
Bobby
exactly.
Fish,
You should
dude.
have a
Bobby
Your
say
vote
for
doesn't
sure.
count if Belmont is playing the game.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a company.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
it is.
so back to the root question, and then I live off campus in East Nashville, and we have a studio there.
Oh,
and that's where we
nice.
write and rehearse and everything. So,
Yeah.
So now, do y'all self-produce, or do you have anyone that you work with?
yeah, so I produce a lot, and then obviously the guys write, and Tanner does his tones, and
Mhm.
et cetera, et cetera. And then we have Blake Burchett and Jason Bennett, who run the band Hugo, and they help with the mixing and production. We all do it together.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
been really, really helpful, and I recommend anyone who self-produces get more hands on your work
Yeah,
because it makes
definitely.
it so much better.
They've been great.
Definitely.
They've been great for having a second opinion, somebody who's never heard the song to really
Yeah.
come in and say, you know, like this is great. This is what you can add to make it better. This is what you can
Mhm.
take away.
Yeah.
Stuff
I was
like
so
that.
blown away by the final like mix of All in My Head
Mm-hmm.
because
Mhm.
it sounded great like when we did it, and then Blake totally took the bridge to like a new level.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Because after you listen to the same thing for so long, it's
Yeah.
like you lose track of it almost. Like
Yeah,
it
and
might
then-
take months to get a different perspective because you've heard it so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will admit that I'm a really good like ideas producer, and like as far as like writing songs, I feel like I'm good at that.
Mhm.
But then it gets to a stage where definitely I hit a wall.
Yeah.
It's like
I-
I can take
I'm right
this
there with
only
you.
so far.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I have a few of those songs in the
What
works
do-
right now.
What about influence-wise? What are y'all's music? I
Um,
guess if y'all want to go down the line.
Yeah, let's do that.
So growing up, I listened to Bruce Springsteen because my
Mhm.
dad's a huge fan, and then lyrically Bruce Springsteen because I like to talk about like experiences and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then kind of just like when in high school, I got really obsessed with the 1975
Okay.
and just like that whole vibe with it and 80s and everything. So anything 80s is my
yeah, I
influence.
feel like that's where you and me connected
Yeah.
the most because I grew up on new wave music a lot, like XTC and Tears for Fears and stuff like
Oh.
that.
See, a lot of people sleep on XTC. That's some
XTC,
good.
yeah, my dad-
Skylarking,
Yes.
Oh.
fantastic album.
Yes, my dad is a huge XTC fan, and yeah, so that was really good. Like I feel like I had a really good musical upbringing as far
Yeah.
as production.
like
And then I'm also really into like like Phoenix, Vampire Weekend, that whole kind of second wave,
Yeah,
chill wave stuff. So
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, for me, it was very different. Like, so for me, when I started to play guitar, I obviously started with blues,
Mhm.
and so a lot of what I listen to has been focused around blues, whether it be newer or older. I also played a lot in church, and so like some of those similar things and tones, like I feel like I still use.
Mhm.
So even though like we're totally different, I mean, I think all of us kind of have different backgrounds.
yeah.
It just comes together somehow
Yeah.
in the end.
creates this weird genre.
So, yeah, being a drummer, I guess I kind of like listen to a lot of different genres, just because a lot of different genres have drumming implemented in it. So, like I listen to like punk, like Black Flag, Bad Brains, to like hip hop, like obviously Biggie, Nas, just basically anything alternative. I like a little bit of Elliott Smith a lot actually. Yeah, so I'll just kind of like when I'm writing something or thinking of an idea, I'll just I guess feel whatever the song has for me and just kind of
Go from there.
take from whatever influence I think fits the vibe.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty eclectic as well, but like in terms of trumpet playing, I've been listening to Miles forever, ever since I started playing. Like
You
when-
can't not.
right?
Yeah.
He's the man. He's the king of cool. So I mean, I've Miles, like Wynton Marsalis, Roy Hargrove, the Lee Morgan, like the kind of bebop era.
Yeah.
That's my influence in terms of trumpet playing.
Yeah. So we covered all like your different influences. How would y'all describe your sound as No Coast? It's a tough question. I know it's a tough question.
That's the hardest
It's
question we
really
can get.
hard because it changes. Every song I feel like is somewhat different. But then that being said, like everyone who listens to us
Yeah.
is like, but this sounds like you. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think that comes
Yeah.
from the production. But
It's weird because like On My Head sounds like it's very alternative indie kind of pop, and then same with Mars, and then we kind of flipped over to like funk and like that like Ivory and stuff.
Yeah, like
It's like I don't know how to explain it.
I think it's, if we had to describe it, it would be like like a indie pop basis, but
Yeah.
then every subcategory you could think of out of that, you could take it either way on
Yeah.
any certain
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. Yeah, like when we start writing a song, it might come from a different genre because of like how we all have come out of music through different genres.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end of the day, it probably does. If we had to pick one genre, like indie pop, it comes down to that.
I saw this on your Instagram. The All in My Head song y'all released.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love the just the image that y'all had for that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Down with like the fish, the dog, the flowers,
Yeah.
cactus.
The doodles,
Dude,
yeah.
So that's
who made that?
That's my homie Jack Creasy. A shout out to Jack.
Young Creamy.
He's the man, Young Creamy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I grew up with him. He's a crazy artist. He does doodles, like watercolors. He sells prints, stuff like that. He's a graphic designer. And we love Jack. And
He's the one that made the X with like
Yeah.
the waves.
Okay.
and-
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then the doodles are all his. And check him out on Instagram. He's selling stuff.
Yeah. Definitely.
But
Young Creamy.
Young Creamy.
And so what kind of aesthetic or like visual aspect do y'all try to portray?
Oh, that's a great question.
Well, so the color scheme we like to go for like pastel colors, like the fun like pink and like blue colors, that stuff. Just really anything that doesn't make us seem too serious.
Yeah,
because we're
okay.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a font.
We do have font.
Like a personal no-code font?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Lulo Clean Bold.
Lulo Clean Bold.
Lulo
Yeah.
Clean Bold.
Where'd you get that at?
Microsoft.
Legally downloaded it?
I quite legally
Not quite.
downloaded it off the interwebs, and I'm Adobe certified and all that stuff, so
Yeah.
I can mess around with it. But I'm not near as good as Jack or Chance, and then another
Yeah,
guy who did the
Chance,
second
amazing.
cover for us with
Chance,
Mars.
right?
Yeah, but aesthetic is something we're definitely trying to streamline. It's so tough when you're just starting out.
Oh yeah.
I feel like everything kind of happened fairly quickly for us as far as
Yeah.
progression.
Our first show was in March of last year, and like played for like 50 people. It was at like 8th and Wedgwood.
With Ambrose.
Yeah, with Ambrose.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
We have him
Cool.
on.
Yeah, and then our second show was at Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
And that was like, we went from playing for 50 people to like
Yeah.
2,000 people.
Yeah, to like
So it was-
to like put the time.
How was that?
So this is really what happened. So like I met them at the beginning of like second semester of last year.
of January,
So that
yeah.
So then we like played our first show after like me knowing them for like a month and a half maybe, and then the semester ends. We all go home for the summer. Nobody like stayed together.
Except for me. by
He stayed
myself.
here, but we were all apart, and then we come back. We come back in the first week. We're back. Well, we had to come back early to practice
Yeah.
for Battle of the Bands.
Which
And then
was
we went
good
2
because I'm
weeks
so
to-
glad.
Yeah.
Which Jahari, who's a freshman, didn't know anybody else except for
Yeah.
me. So he just came in. We kind of threw him in here and was like, "Hey, like you're gonna play a show with us your first week of school," and then
Alright, then.
and now like
From
we've just
2000.
been writing, kind of trying to take the momentum from winning Battle of the Bands,
Yeah.
and now we've been playing shows every week. So yeah, it has happened really fast.
Yeah.
It was very, very fast.
How was that transition from playing like in front of 50 people to like 2,000?
It was nerve wracking.
But
Um,
honestly, I like playing for bigger crowds than
Really?
smaller
Yeah.
clouds. Smaller crowds.
Well, I think anybody.
Well, yeah, but it's just because I feel like one person can pick you out, and then you start looking at that one person.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
But,
It's more of just a sea of people.
Yeah,
It's like-
yeah. Yeah, but no, it's been so fun. We're so blessed to be able to play every week. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to be with each other, too. It's like our best
Aw.
friend.
Oh, that's
best
sweet.
friends.
Aw.
Sentimental. Yeah, for sure.
So we kind of touched on some of this, but what does y'all's creative process look like of coming up with songs?
Whew. Normally it starts with Tate, because such a great producer. He kind of just works up something on the machine, and Tanner and I start jamming to it, and it's kind of like a whole jam sesh that we do. We just start jamming, and then kind of lyrics come, and we just go with it.
Overall,
It's
it's
kind of the best way
yeah.
to do it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Overall, it's
awesome.
a very collaborative process.
Yeah.
Like none of these songs would be the way they are if all of us weren't there at the same time.
Mhm.
So none like we've never tried writing alone and coming up and then bringing it into like a band rehearsal and like proposing it.
I mean, I will say
It's not-
that I write almost always alone, and then I
Yeah.
bring those ideas to them, and they're like,
Mhm.
"Well, this is cool, but let's not do it this way."
Yeah.
And then they
Kinda
jam
flesh
off
it
of
out.
that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's
I think the
pretty
only
good.
song that we wrote alone was with me and Tanner. So it was like 3 a.m. one night in April. We wrote like a really slow, sad song. But yeah, that should come out soon.
yeah, we've got an EP that we're hoping will come out January, and that'll have the 2 singles and then a couple other songs on it.
I think total of 7 songs.
6, 7. I don't know. Anyways, that's
Something like
about
that.
to go into mixed phase, and so
Mhm.
that'll be super fun. I'm really excited
Mhm.
about that. But we've been playing so much that it's been so
Yeah, it's
hard.
super
just
hard.
To be
Oh,
like-
yeah.
Right.
You only have so
Yeah.
much time.
Yeah. I mean, we wrote the first song that we soundchecked with. That was written 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played that
So-
at a show last night with
Mhm.
Parrotfish and Blake.
How was that?
That was,
was
so,
so
fun.
much fun.
I always
Really?
love playing with Blake
Yeah.
and Parrotfish, dude.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
Parrotfish is
Literally, we went from so
Yeah.
it was a costume party.
Mhm.
We
Oh.
went from Harry Potter. We were like Harry Potter characters, and then they come up in like robes and avocado masks. By the end of the show,
Parrotfish did.
yeah, Parrotfish. By the end of the show, the only thing Parrotfish was wearing was their underwear.
Yeah, they're
Which,
Hilarious.
almost every time I see them, they only wear underwear.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
well, yeah,
wasn't
that's true, that's true.
Wasn't super surprised.
Yeah, that's just.
Sure thing. Okay, I think this was for Battle of the Bands, but I'm not completely positive. Did y'all have a certain like load-in mishap that happened?
Oh man.
So
All
let me
right.
state that
Wait.
almost every time we play, we have a load-in mishap, which is when you have as many inputs as we do, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Wait, should
Um,
we talk about the
Huh?
way to load in? Like our story?
Okay. Oh yeah. So there was 2 mishaps on
Alright.
load-in.
Oh God.
So the first one was we were supposed to be there at like 4.
No, we're supposed to be at 2, and we
2?
left the house in Madison at 1:49.
Yeah. So at East Nashville, we left. It takes 20 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we
Yeah,
were doing, but
I don't know what we were doing. I'm pretty sure I was playing Fortnite. I'm not too
Playing
sure.
Fortnite.
But
Right.
yeah, we left the house at 1:49. Supposed to be there at 2, and then we figure out like as we're getting into Nashville on 65, a factory was on fire.
Yeah, it was like a chemical fire by
And-
the river.
Yeah,
Jeez.
And
So
everyone
we had
was
to take a
going
detour.
super slow,
We had to
like
take a
looking at the
detour.
fire.
Yeah.
all the way
exactly.
around the city.
Yeah.
And then Tate and I got stuck behind a funeral.
Yeah, like a funeral procession. And
Oh, yeah.
everywhere I would go, I was trying to go up Music Square East or West.
And we
And
just get cut off by this funeral.
everywhere I would go, the procession would be in front of us, no matter where
Yeah.
I would go. And then a block away from the Circle K, I ran out of gas.
Oh. God.
So I was just kind of like,
Yeah, he was running on fumes. And then we get to the gas station, and I'm sitting in the car, juuling while
and,
Tate's in there.
Sarah, our manager, is calling
Yeah.
us like, "Where are you?"
It's like,
Yeah, she was livid.
2:25, like half hour late. These 2 like 12-year-olds come up to the car, and they're like, "Hey, if you buy me a Juul, we'll pay extra." And Tate was really stressed out.
I
He
was-
goes, "It's probably the meanest thing."
This
I've
is
ever said."
legitimately the meanest thing. I don't
Yeah,
want
he
this.
was not
I don't
kidding.
want
Get the
this to
fuck outta
reflect
here.
my character. No, yeah. So these kids, they come up. I'm pumping gas. I'm like stressed out. I'm on the phone. I'm like, oh god. And these kids come out. And they're like, hey sir, could you go buy us a Juul inside? We'll give you money. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, kids.
Hey, you're saving him from himself.
And
And I was like, "Dude, you don't have to say that."
and Manny goes, whoa, hold on, man.
I
buy you
I
some.
respectfully told them like, hey, if it wasn't this like right now, totally would. But we gotta be somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's some bad luck.
Yeah.
But then when we got
But then
there,
it was fine.
then when we got there,
We were the first
the
ones
load
in.
in, we were the first band
Yeah,
to
we-
play, so we loaded in first. We
Yeah.
got a good sound check.
Oh my god.
We were
Except-
the only one to have a sound check.
Yeah.
Except
Thank
Which
God.
was-
we spent an hour. We spent an hour because they couldn't figure out why Tate's keys weren't coming through. So do you want to
This
talk
is
about
every
that?
show.
'Cause that was
This is every
It's
show.
fine. This happens every show. But yeah, they had to switch some DIs and they had the patch wrong ultimately. But
It
they
was
kept
the snake.
the snake. Yeah,
Yeah.
the patch on the snake was wrong, and the snake. I don't know. Anyways,
Was one of the
took an hour.
engineers was like,
screaming at
You
me
guys
like,
are
"It's
just
your
not-
fault! It's your
Yeah.
fault!" And I was like, "Brother, you want to come look at the signal path?
Yeah.
I can see it. Like I've taken RegTech. I've taken live sound. Like I know I was in class with you in live sound. Don't come scream at don't scream at me about this.
And then
man.
he was like, "You guys are just gonna have to play without it," and I was just like, "That is the basis of our whole set."
"Yeah,
is
it's
the
like
key.
if we
It's
don't
like-
have this, then we're gonna lose." So
You gotta have it.
we're gonna have it. But it worked out, man, and
Yeah.
they do as good as they can with what they have. So
And it sounded
Oh,
it
great.
it's
did, and we sounded
amazing.
great. So I'm really
Yeah.
stoked about
The
it.
mix is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was really stressful. All in all.
What about like from before y'all formed this band? How have y'all changed as musicians and artists, and what have you learned from before to where you are now?
Let's start on that end.
Yeah.
I grew up playing a lot of jazz and blues, so like this whole genre I was not familiar with, this whole indie pop thing. So they were like, you know, can you play with us? I'm like, all right, cool, I'll check it out. And then I just kind of had to like fit my sound into what they were doing and try to listen at all times, try to listen as best as I can.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And actually going off that note, it's kind of the same thing for me. Like when I would play with people back home, it was very kind of it didn't have as many layers as far as like instruments and like inputs and stuff. So a lot of the shows that we played were just kind of like snappy, kind of to the point. And then I got here, and I kind of started to realize like how many like I guess layers are involved with the band, and it's kind of intriguing in a way because it's because a lot of music is actually made like that, and I just wasn't. It's not something I'm used to, so
Yeah.
it's really cool to come here and be introduced to a new way of like playing.
Yeah.
For me, it's really similar to what Grant was saying. How like I was blues player mostly. That's what I like to play, and so just fitting that into what we were trying to do was really fun to do for me. But also, I've kind of learned that you have to pick your battles as a band member. You have to learn how to work with people. You can't always have what you want. Not every song is going to be your favorite. So you just have to work with each other, else you're just going to get burnt out with each other eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my answer is almost identical to Tanner's. Before I was in this band, I kind of did solo electronic stuff, and which is fun, but you kind of get super burnt out on what you can never please yourself, especially when you're working by yourself all the time. So that was kind of part of the reason why me and Manny started working together, because you're like, well, let's do something different,
Yeah.
But the thing that has changed with the band is we have so much more flexibility because we all have different ideas, which is awesome. Like that's so fun because everything can be every song, every idea I put on the table can be complete 180 from when it began.
Was that ever hard at first? Like I know you said that a lot of times you'll kind of make an idea and bring it. Are there ever times where you're thinking, oh well, I really liked how that was?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my! Like
Definitely.
Tate and I like go through that sometimes. Like he'll come up with something, I'll be like, I think it'd be better like if it were this way, and then he's like, nah man, it has to be this way. I'm like, well, does it have to be that way? So yeah, it
Like,
happens.
we went
It
through
happens,
like
but
5 different strumming patterns for this one song yesterday.
Yep.
I don't really know which one we're going with, but it is
One of
what it
them.
is. One of them.
We're going with the one we were playing.
yeah,
It don't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, for me, I kind of grew up playing a lot of acoustic stuff, and I was in a band in middle school called Driveway. Don't really know where they are now.
Maybe they're in the driveway.
I don't know.
Somewhere.
They're in the
They're
garage.
still in the
Yeah.
driveway.
They haven't left actually. They haven't left.
But yeah, it was more of like rock and kind of classic rock, AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and stuff. But I started doing my own acoustic stuff in high school, and just coming to Belmont and learning like a new kind of sound and kind of actually playing the music that you like listening to.
Yeah.
It kind of puts a new perspective on like confidence and stuff.
I think as far as where we fit in to like the Nashville sound, like at this moment in time, this is like really cool for us.
Oh,
like
yeah.
me and Manny love going to see other Belmont bands who kind of do similar stuff, or any like Coin or Lanny, or there's tons of them. Moon Taxi. There's so many great indie bands from Nashville, or just starting out. Like obviously we're good friends with Hardcastle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
bunch of other people.
That's
Yeah.
actually really cool. I went to school with Val and
Oh, dude, we
Graham.
love that.
Really?
Yeah, we're actually
Nice.
working on
Yeah.
a song where he played some guitar
Oh,
for
that's
us.
great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, ninth grade. Actually, the reason why we know each other is because I lived here from 6th grade to half of ninth, and
Okay.
the other half of ninth I spent in Atlanta. And
Oh,
with
sick.
him. Yeah,
You know
so-
demo tapes as well?
I know who he is, but
What's
I've
his
never
name?
met him.
What's his
Oh,
name?
is it that dirty producer?
I know his real
that
name.
Dude, he's
showing us?
nasty.
Nasty.
He's good.
Uses the OP1 all the
Yeah.
time.
Filthy.
OP1.
I need an OP1.
Yeah.
I
You-
the
can't-
cow synthesizer.
I would love an
and stuff.
OP1, dude. I would love that.
Hey, if y'all
He's
ever
also
want
on
to come
Prophet
through and
Services.
borrow it, I got one.
You have one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, yeah, for sure. All right, well, I think we'll wrap it up right
Yeah.
there.
Awesome.
No
No
coast.
coast.
Thank you for coming on the show,
Thank you
guys.
guys so
That
much.
was,
This has
yeah,
been awesome.
it was awesome.
It's all in my head, like we were young, cross my bed. I'm sorry that you're upset. They knew I left with nothing, nothing. It's all in my head, no. Like we were young, cross my bed. I'm sorry that you're upset. They knew I left with nothing, nothing. Rosy cheeks, stone glances, and when she speaks, my heart dances. Blue eyes and mischances, and lost lines with no answers. It's all in my head, no. Like we were young, cross my bed. I'm sorry that you're upset. They knew I left with nothing, nothing. Just hold on close. Don't even know you're there. Just fold your clothes. Run my hands through your hair. It's all in my head, no. It's all in my head. It's all in my head, no. It's all